This is EN Radio. Nigeria's first Muslim radio.
At this point, I'd like to be political. The burden of abortion should be placed on the society and not on the abortionist or the person who's undergoing an abortion, because it takes two to tango, right? A 12-year-old will not go to artificially inseminate themselves to get pregnant, right? So this then brings us to the societal ill. And I feel like everyone is looking at impact as a word that means either reduce or increase directly. When I said that abortion impacts education, labor, income, self-advocacy, criminal behavior, I didn't necessarily say that it increased it, or I didn't say that it reduced it. In every situation, it is different. Sometimes one leads to the other. It is a vicious cycle. So this is a nice segue into increasing the advocacy for political will, right? What are the laws that exist to protect the children in our communities? What are the laws that exist to protect women who live in homes where they suffer domestic violence?
This is EN Radio. Nigeria's first Muslim radio.
We want to do the expulsion of the embryo, intentionally, deliberately. So what is the implication of this? This is what we're talking about. Then what is the Islamic ruling concerning this? So generally speaking, Islam frowns at abortion, like it is haram to abort a baby or to abort pregnancy. So generally speaking, except in some cases, some situations. One of it was mentioned by the doctor, Barakallahu Fiha, that at times a woman might be pregnant and the pregnancy might pose threats, life threats to the woman carrying the baby or the child itself, like it's not going to live, things like that. So when there is life-threatening situation, especially the woman carrying the baby, so it is allowed in this case to have abortion, especially at the early stage, maybe the first trimester. So it is allowed to have abortion. So consider the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, talking about how the baby is being formed in the womb of the mother. He talks about, the Prophet ﷺ talked about the first 40 days. It is nutfa. The second 40 days, that's 80 days. So this covers the first trimester. So scholars will say whatever abortion is going to take place should happen in the first trimester.
This is EN Radio. Nigeria's first Muslim radio.
The question is about the laws that are available to protect children and women. Is that right, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes. So I was saying that generally the Constitution is pro-life unless the woman's health is at stake or the health of the child. Abortion is generally not allowed. However, are there supporting laws to ensure that this is a holistic thing? According to the Constitution and the Criminal Acts and Penal Codes, rape is also a crime, and mainly the penalty, the punishment on ground for rape is life imprisonment. So to some extent, so that's one. So that is to ensure that where a woman, to even try and prevent the sexual assault of women, because all these things are the build-ups that bring us to the point of a woman needing abortion in the first place, especially when it comes to the intentionally induced abortion, aside from the miscarriage or any other one that comes in just on the side. Also, when it comes to domestic violence, there are strict laws in place against domestic violence. Lagos State, for instance, as a case study, even has a whole unit dedicated for domestic violence victims, children who are victims of domestic violence and such. So, and generally, if we're to look at reducing the rate of abortion, all these aspects, all these other facets are the things that can protect before we get to the point of a woman being pregnant and then needing the voluntarily chosen abortion.
This is EN Radio. Nigeria's first Muslim radio.